Hi friends, welcome to Programming Made Easy. This is Santosh Avalamudu. So this is the continued session on SQL. So to refer to the introduction section, refer to my previous video. So as I had informed in the previous session, so we'll be starting with SQL Select commands. Since there are so many options available in select command, I'm going to do it in parts so that it will be easy for you to follow as well as to practice. So if you are not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe to my channel to get more updates on my videos. Okay, so select statement is used to select data from a database. So as you know, a database contains tables and tables contain data as row and columns. So with select command or select statement, we can select the required data from one or more tables of a database. And this is the most commonly used SQL statement by any developer, tester, or anybody who works with the databases. So it is very, very important to understand the various options available with select statement. Now, how to select the data? There are various ways of doing it. So I'll explain the command parallelly. We can also see in practice how these commands work. So before we look at the select statement, I just want to show you the data that has been inserted. In the previous session, I had given details about the table structure. As I had mentioned, this is employees database, and here we are having mainly four tables: a department table containing department ID and department name, designation table containing designation ID and designation name, employee table containing employee ID, first name, mid name, last name, date of birth, date of join, a flag to indicate whether the person is married or not. Then there are two foreign keys, that is the department ID and the designation ID. And the last table is a salary table which contains a record ID field which is unique or primary key. Then employee ID, month ID, year, and salary are the remaining columns. Now this is the data which I have inserted. So department, so as since this is for the demonstration, so I have created few records in all of the tables. If you see department, there are four departments: HR, admin, marketing, and software. And these are the various designations like trainee, developer, technical lead, manager, tester, and CTO. And these are my employees. So I've inserted 10 records for the sample. So each one is having a unique employee ID, then their name, first name, last name, and middle name. So middle name is optional. So some of the employees are having middle name and some of them are not having. Then their date of birth, then date of join, then the flag to indicate whether they are married or not, then the department ID and the designation ID. So as I had mentioned, so date we are storing in Unix format, which is a 10-digit number. And to get the ID, so here is a website called Epoch Converter, which can give you the Unix time for the given date and time. So you can use this particular website Epoch Converter to get the Unix time equivalent. So you can use it for both the purpose, Unix time to current date and time, as well as current date and time to unique date and time we can convert using this website. So this is the data what we have. Then this is a salary table where I've inserted salary for 10 records are there. So for all the different employees for different months, and the salary obviously depends on the designation. Now let's get into the commands one by one and we will see practically how it will work. So now if you want to select all the records, okay. So as I mentioned, one row is called a record in the database. If I want to select all the records of a table, what you need to do is you have to use select star from table name. So initially we will be seeing how to extract the data from a single table. As we advances further, we will see how to get the data from multiple tables. Now, if you want to get all the available records of a table, you have to use select star from table name. So let's see this here. So let's say I want to see all the departments. Okay. So if you have the SQL Studio, SQL Server Studio, then if you open SQL Server Management Studio, connect to the database, and then if you click on new query, this query editor will open where you can type your commands, you can execute and you can see the results. So just make sure that you connect to the proper database where we have created these tables. Now I want to see all the departments in my organization. So what I do, select star from, so what is my table name is department. So in SQL Server Studio, you have this intelligence where if you type, it shows the table name and column names. It becomes easier for us to type our commands. So once you type it, then select, click on execute, or you can also use F5. So it shows the data of all the columns and all the rows of your table. You can see department ID, then department name. Okay, next. Now, if you want to select required columns from the table, I don't want all the columns. I want to get the data of few columns of the table. Now, if you want to run this statement, you should know the column names. Okay, and the syntax is select column 1, comma column 2. You can type all the columns that you want, then from, and then the table name. So let's see this. Now, let's say I want to see the first name, middle name, and last name of all of the employees, right? So what I will do, select. Now in the editor, if you see any text in blue color, that means it's a predefined command which is provided by SQL, and from is also a predefined command. So now select yes. Okay, what is my column? To see the columns, you can expand, click on columns. So it will show the column names. Okay, so it is S first name, S mid name. Now, why it is not showing intelligence is because we have not typed the table name. That is why. Okay, so S mid name, comma S last name from employee. So I want only first name, mid name, and last name from employee table. So again select, do F5. I'm doing F5 this time, or you can click on execute button. Okay, so first name, mid name, last. So this is how you select specific columns of the table. So as you just saw, to run this command, you should know the column names of the table. So if you don't know or if you type wrongly, then your query will not execute. For example, instead of last name, I give last name 1. First, it will show in red color. Okay, you can see it's highlighted with a red line. Now, if you try to execute the command, it says invalid column name s last name 1 because that column is not present in employee table. Okay, so I hope it's clear for all of you. Now, let's go to the next command. Now, if you want to select distinct values from the table, you want to select distinct. That means most of the cases, most of the columns might contain the same data. Let's say, for example, even if you take the names, okay, if you take the names of employees, if you take a company of let's say 100 or 200 employees, you may find some names gets repeated continuously. For example, there are so many common names you will see like Mahesh or Suresh. You can see multiple people having the same names. Now, when you do select star or select first name, so you get multiple records even though it contains the same name. Okay. Now, or contain or so in that case, so you want to find what are the unique names in your employees database, then we will use distinct. Okay, so this is also a very useful command to eliminate the duplicate values. Okay, so how you do it? Select distinct, then column 1 comma column 2, any whatever the columns you want from table name. Okay, so now what command we will run here? If you see the salary table, there are multiple months and years are repeated. Okay, so years all I have given 21. Let's say month. So I want to find the unique months in which the salary is credited from salary table. I want to know the unique month IDs. Okay, so what I will do, select distinct, distinct I month ID from salary. Select distinct I month ID. I want only one column. If you want multiple columns also, you can use it. So now, before I run this, let us see the number of records in select star from salary. So we'll see first how many records are there. Then we'll run this command and see the count. Now if you do select star from salary, you see here 10 rows. It shows there are 10 rows. Now if I run this command, so here you can see some of the months are repeated. You see 12 is repeated so many times. Then 11 is repeated, 10 is repeated. So all are repeated. Now we will see what is the value we get after running this command. 10, 11, 12. We got only 3 records, right? So this is the difference between your normal select and distinct. So it gives you the distinct values or the unique values of the selected columns. Okay. So next, moving on. Now, when you want to get the count of the records, so you want to only find the number of records in a particular table, then we can use select count star from table name. So again, count is a predefined command. Okay, select count star from table name. So let's see this. Now I want to see the number of records in employee table. I want to find the number of employee count. Select count star from employee. So I want to find the number of employees. Execute. It is 10. That means there are 10 records in employee table. Okay. Next, where one of the most important part of select statement. Okay. So where is used to extract only those records that fulfill a specified condition. So once again, where is used to extract only those records that fulfill a specified condition. So there are so many conditions in where, but let's see the format first. So select columns of interest from table name where you give a condition. So you can use different kind of conditions like greater than, less than, equal to, not equal to, okay, between. So what we will do here, we will see only the format, but we will have separate sessions on where itself because there are so many things to cover when we talk about where. Okay, so we will see that in the next video. Now here for the example here, now let's use the same employee table. I want to find those employees who are married. I want to get the list of employees who are married. So select star from employee where I married. So I married is a flag. Okay, it will either have 0 or 1. 0 indicates they are not married. 1 indicates they are married. I married equal to 1. Okay. Now here select, now I have given star. Instead you could have given the required columns. This is the first section where after where you can give the condition based on which the records will filter. Okay. Now if I run this, say you remember number of records in employee is 10. Now after this it is only 4 rows. That means there are 4 employees who are married. So the number of records in employee got filtered based on this condition. Okay. This is a very simple where part within select. As I told, we'll have detailed session on this in the next video. So don't forget to watch the next video to understand where in more details. Moving on, order by. Now order by keyword is used to sort the result set in ascending or descending order. So many of the cases we want to get the values based in a particular order. Okay, sometimes in ascending order, sometimes in descending order. In that case, we can use this command order by. Okay, so the syntax is select columns from table order by which columns. So you may select 10 columns, but you can order based on any one column or more than one columns. And then there is again keyword AAC or DAC. AAC indicates ascending order, DAC indicates descending order. So remember one thing, by default, if you don't mention, if you don't give the keyword AAC or DAC, it will be in ascending order. Again, this is very useful when you want to select the records in a particular order. So let's see this. Now we want to get the employees in their order of joining date, in the ascending order of joining date. That means who joined early will be in the top, who joined late will be below. Okay. Now the same select star from employee order by IDOJ. So I didn't give anything ascending or descending. So let's see what is the outcome. So you observe this column IDOJ, the less value is in the top and higher value is at the bottom. So that means, so Ramesh joining date is lesser than Joseph joining date, whereas Sagar is one who joined at the very recently. He has joined Sagar and Geeta. They both are having same joining date. Now, if I want to reverse this, so I want the list such that those who joined recently should come on the top. Those who joined earlier should come at the bottom. So all you need to do is add this DSC. That means descending order. Now if you see the output, it will reverse. Right? So this is how you can order the data based on specific columns. Right? Okay. So here, if you don't want all, let's say you will select first name, last name, order by date of join. Now, if you do this, you will only get the first name, last name based on their date of join. So remember one thing, here the column based on which you order need not be part of the columns which you are selecting. This is very, very important to make a note. The column which you use for ordering in this particular case is not mandatory to be part of the selected columns. Okay. I hope order by is very clear. So let's go on, move on to the next one. So this is the last part we are going to see in the select statement. So this is called top. Okay. So when you want to select top n records, let's say I want to find top 5 employees who draws the maximum salary, or top 5 employees who joined late or who joined early. Okay, so in such cases we use top. Okay, so the select top class is used to specify the number of records to return. So when you don't want to get all the records and limit to specific number of records, in that case we use top class. Okay, so the command is select top number of records number from table where conditions. So again, where is optional here, so without where also we can use top class. But remember one thing, when you are working with MySQL database or PostgreSQL databases, there is no command called top. There is no top class. Instead, we have to use limit. Okay, but observe this particular syntax. So top here we are using immediately after select, but here select column name from table where condition limit number of records. So limit we are using at the end, but whereas top we are using in the beginning. That is one more difference between top and limit. So some of these such commands vary from database to database. So when you are working with multiple databases, you should know that particular difference. Now let's see how it works. Now here what I will do, I will say select top 3 from employee. So I want to get top 3 employees order by IDOJ or by date of birth. I want to get top n records. So let's say I want to get top 3 records from employee based on their date of birth order by. So I am not using where, as I told, where is optional. Even order by is optional. Okay. So when I execute, you will see 3 records only. Even though if we remove top 3, we get all the records. Now here I am limiting my number of records to only 3. Right? But if you want to use the same command in SQL, MySQL or Postgre, the command would be select star from employee order by IDOB limit 3. So this will be the command if you want to use it for MySQL or PostgreSQL database. But limit is not available in SQL Server. Okay, so these are the some of the differences you should understand when you are working with different databases. So with that, we come to the end of the session. I hope you all liked it. So as I told, there will be multiple sessions coming up in select statement only. So do subscribe to my channel to get these updates. As soon as I post any video, you will get a notification. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for all your support. So if you like this, do like it, share it with your friends and family, and also give your comments on how we can improve this. So if you are not subscribed, do subscribe. So thank you so much. See you all. Please wait for my next video. Till then, bye bye.